Hey, it's Laura with Laura Reads Foxed Books, and these are the enrichment notes for the Misdemeanors of Nancy, Episode 2, Chapter 2, A Lesson in Democracy. Firstly, a couple of references that were made. 1. When Nancy says, "Whenever there has been a San Juan to storm, she has been called in and led the charge." This is a reference to the First Battle of San Juan, Puerto Rico, the site of a battle between the United States Navy and Spain in the Spanish-American War of 1898, just 4 years before this book was published. Nancy is saying she's been a willing sacrifice to her friends trying to introduce her to men, but this time she'd rather be on leave, or go AWOL. But of course, they hatch a plan that turns out to be much more fun and saves the evening for her friend. You can read much more about the First Battle of San Juan at history.navy.mil. 2. Nearing the end of their dinner, when the host is seen as completely inappropriate by his guest, the guest, Sir Henry, the Englishman, considers him a gay Lothario. A Lothario is a man who behaves selfishly and irresponsibly in his sexual relationships. The term, from Italian, comes from Nicholas Rowe's 1703 play, The Fair Penitent, in which there is a character who loves women. Well, he loves to seduce them, use them, and that is the extent of his having any feelings for anyone but himself. Secondly, let's take a look at some of the many terms that were in this chapter. I'm going to have to cut it down to just a few. Frou-frou. Probably one of my favorites because it's fun to say and is a great example of onomatopoeia. Also fun to say. I'll explain. Onomatopoeia is when a word sounds like what it is. For the cat and dog lovers out there, meow and bark are excellent examples. Frou-frou is the sound skirts or fabric or leaves on a tree make when in motion, kind of a rustling sound. Frou-frou sort of sounds rustly. Supererogation. A touch challenging to say and sound confident. This is when you're doing more than is asked of you, going the extra mile, which Nancy certainly does in this chapter. Portieres are curtains hung across a doorway. I'm thinking they were used to help keep the cold out and the heat in. This term comes up twice, so I wanted to be sure you knew what it was. In the vein of French terms for household items, John, the host, mentions that Nancy has a frieze of scalps in her boudoir, or her bedroom or dressing room. A frieze can be both a sculpted decoration around the top of a room's walls, like crown molding, or a blanket, and in this case, made out of scalps. Rather horrifying. But John uses the idiom to suggest Nancy has a high body count. Now you see there? I just used another idiom. What John means is that Nancy has let a lot of men fall in love with her, and she merely collects them, like trophies, for bragging rights. That's why Nancy gives him a dirty look. Now let me define an idiom for you. An idiom is a phrase or expression that figuratively, not literally, describes something. They are based on knowledge within a culture. You might say of a friend's dating situation that he is batting 1,000, which is a baseball reference that means he's been successful, found a loving partner, or else dating lots of hot women every weekend. However you define success. But if you don't know baseball, that may not mean anything to you. It could even sound bad. 3 strikes and you're out, right? So if you're batting 1,000, maybe take up word searches or something? Okay, so I mentioned idioms because we have yet another one used by John in reference to Nancy and her love life. She plays the deuce of hearts. The deuce, or 2, is often the lowest card in regards to points counted. It is also a reference to the character of lover. He suggests, idiomatically, that she is a lover, a flirt, but leaves the relationship with the least cost, or points, to herself. And by the end of the chapter, Mr. and Mrs. John Winston feel rather guilty, having introduced Sir Henry to the bewitching Nancy. This is it for the enrichment notes for Chapter 2, A Lesson in Democracy from The Misdemeanors of Nancy. Note that the source for terminology defined herein is from Merriam-Webster, the online dictionary. Thanks for seeking enrichment, and I'll see you in the next video. Text and production copyright 2025 by Laura E. Rich Creek.